$500 for a tree collar is insane. Let's see if we can dupe one. So you're going to get 9 of these picture frames from the Dollar Tree. Just remove all the insides. Flip it over. You're going to get some rub and buff or spray paint. You can get a different color, just normal craft paint, just whatever you have on hand. We're just going to make it look a little more aged here. So I'm just dabbing the rub and buff on here to give it a little more texture. Then I've mixed up alcohol and acrylic paint into a spray bottle. So we're just going to spray it on here. And the alcohol dries and gives it kind of this texture that looks like cells. It makes it look old and aged. And you can do that as much as you like. Then we're going to take that same spray with your black paint and alcohol, and we're just going to spray it on the glass that was in the picture frame. Remove some of the excess with a paper towel. Then you're going to take that same black paint. You can use a sponge. I just used a paper towel here. You're just going to dab it on here as well, just to give it more of that aged texture. Once you're done with that, just set it to the side to dry. Next, I grabbed one of these foil tablecloths from the Dollar Tree. One side is gold, one side is silver. The silver is going to give us that mirrored effect. So I'm just using the backing that came in the picture frame, and you're just going to cut out that size. I used a glue stick here to glue it onto the cardboard backing, but you could also use like a spray adhesive, which would make it go down really smooth. So here I'm just smoothing it out. Try to get it as smooth as possible and get all those wrinkles out of there. You could also use like a Cricut vinyl. I know they have a foil one that's already sticky, and that would eliminate that step there. So then you're just going to put your frame back together. Go ahead and put your glass and put the painted side inward so the front of the glass is still shiny. So you're going to need 3 of these balsa wood strips. I got them from Hobby Lobby, $1.50 each. I just measured it here, just marked where it needs to be cut. And this is almost like styrofoam. You can just cut it with scissors or an X-Acto. So you're going to paint it that gold color with your rub and buff or spray, whatever you used, and glue it down the center of your frame. Here I just cut a template out of cardboard so I can easily put it in the center. Okay, so here we're gonna make a nonagon, 9-sided figure. So I used a protractor, made the line. We're gonna need a 140-degree angle. I got my boyfriend, he's an engineer. He helped me figure out the angle because I'm not great at math. But you need this basically as a template so you keep your angles of your tree collar intact once we glue it together. So I'm just going to use hot glue here first to do a quick dry so it keeps that shape quickly. And then we're going to go in with the Gorilla Glue or E6000, whatever you have, and just reinforce it so it's really strong and won't come apart. And just keep it on those lines you made on your template so that shape really stays intact. Here I'm taking some dowel rods. I'm just putting that rub and buff, once again, whatever you used, to give that same exact gold. And here I'm using that Gorilla Glue to reinforce the front, but I'm also putting the dowel rod here in the center to finish off those edges. I made this in 3 separate pieces so I can store it easily for the next year, and you could put Velcro on the edges if you wanted to actually attach the pieces together. Now I know it's not perfect, but to save over $400 and still get the same look, I definitely think is worth it.